Walking down this lonely road, damn near almost lost my soul. But now that I'm in control, what they gon' do? Can no evil hold me down? Let no evil hold me down. When your will is on the ground, what you gon' do? I won't go for anything that isn't in direction of the boom. Don't never let anything come in between, 'cause surely you will lose. Inhale the atmosphere, brushing fear right off the shoulders. Looking around, couldn't find anyone. Feel like the world getting colder. Beyond motivated, we won't stop until we are over. Yeah, and I won't look back, no. Won't look back, no. 'Cause it's only a matter of time, now we in here, dog. Homie said you need to get involved. Ain't no looking back, ain't no other way around it, dog. You got everything you need on guard. Just honing your faith and your power. Trust we could win, this is ours. Know this is not just a dream. Keeping you up early every hour, but it just doesn't make sense. What good is this life if all we do is pretend? Trying to see the light, but darkness wants to creep in. Way up in my mind, wanna push me off the deep end. Wait, slow down, hone it now. If you believe, then you better breathe it. Walking down this lonely road, damn near almost lost my soul. But now that I'm in control, what they gon' do? Can no evil hold me down? Let no evil hold me down. When your will is on the ground, what you gon' do? I won't go for anything that isn't in direction of the boom. Don't never let anything come in between, 'cause surely you will lose. Introspect, take a sec, watch it step, where you step, when you step, falling free through the sky, feel the breeze, feel the eye, all your fears, let them die, energy never lies. Introspect, take a second, let your world unfold,
falling free through the sky.
I just wanna feel right, I'm so tired of being lost,
All your fears, let them die,
wings take flight.
energy never lies.
There's nothing we cannot handle. Light up the dark like a candle. Usually they misunderstand you, yeah. Give a damn if they can't relate. All we want is to motivate. Take it on, never hesitate. Acknowledge it, but then make it. We are the ones in control. We are the ones in control. Just honing your faith and your power. Trust we could win, this is ours. Know this is not just a dream. Take on the world and devour. Walking down this lonely road, damn near almost lost my soul. But now that I'm in control, what they gon' do? Can no evil hold me down? Let no evil hold me down. When your will is on the ground, what you gon' do? I won't go for anything that isn't in direction of the moon. Don't never let anything come in between, 'cause surely you will lose. Yeah, we only getting started, but you know I got to bang it. Yeah, we're shooting for the stars, you know you got to aim it. Yeah, this goes out to the ones who doubt it. How you gon' see with your eyes so clouded? Look to the sky, feed your mind rerouted. Damn, it's been a long, long day. I done came a long, long way. I've been feeling all kind of restless. Getting to it, what can I say? Soaking up game like a lesson. Spirit too strong, that's a blessing. Rather elevate into outer space. You could go insane, lose your way from the stressing. And I ain't really on that. Gotta take it higher, yeah, we're on that. We will never stop, we'll never fall back. This is that, I need more of that. Gotta take it higher like you're on that. Gonna take it higher, yeah, we're on that. Whoa. I hear you screaming on the inside. You gotta let it go, let your mind ride. Yeah, we only getting started, but you know I got to bang it. Yeah, we're shooting for the stars, you know you got to aim it. Yeah,
What's going on, everybody? Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody on YouTube land. If you're watching this replay or wherever you're watching this right now, salute to everybody. But this is the Beware of Fake Woke show with Chaotic Truth. Salute. What's up, Chaotic?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I see you're dressed for the occasion.
Hey, man. I'm just an ape living on a floating water bubble in infinity, man.
Okay.
Just chilling. What's going on?
Oh man, going good, man. Salute to everybody. Please make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you also comment, be engaging with the conversations. Also, I would like to give a salute to the people that showed up early. Salute to DMville, DG, Portia is in the building, Cliff Peñas is in the building, House TV is in the building. Tatum 32 is in the building. We also have Lead Clinton in the building representing RBG. Emo is definitely in the building. Ivy Dreams, good afternoon. This is the first time meeting you. Aisha Speaks, a longtime supporter, is in the building. Of course, my auntie Low Key is here. We got Rask Girl in the building. John Curry is in the building, and Tony Black Guy Chronos King Monolith is in the building. Salute to everybody. Salute to everybody. So, if you didn't know, this is the Fake Woke, Beware of Fake Woke show. We discuss political topics ranging from all types of spectrum, being that, Chaotic is more on the conservative leaning side, and I'm more on the liberal leaning side. We have interesting dynamics. Fake woke does not mean any one particular group. Liberals can be fake woke. Conservatives can be fake woke. Independents can be fake woke. And we kind of discuss them and decide whether the idea or the subject could be considered fake woke. It's one of my favorite things to do, other than roasting people. But salute to everybody. We talking about FBA, man. What you know about FBA?
Foundational Black Americans, a term that was created by Tariq Nasheed. Would I know about it?
Yes.
Well, it's a resurgence in Black American identity, particularly that of slave descent, if I'm not mistaken. Individuals who identify with their ancestors being either victims of chattel slavery or freed men and women in the country, particularly when the country was founded in 1776.
Yeah, and some people would also say 15, I think 65, or when the first
America was, the United States of America was founded in 16 something.
Well, no, the Virginians imported the first slaves in 15.
Oh, you mean the colonies that were under British rule?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. I got you. Okay. I guess you
so
can say that.
So before America was even established, Black people were still here. So
I got you.
So there is two groups. One is FBA, which is Foundational Black American. There's another group called ADOS, which is the African descendants of slaves. They're both basically doing the same thing. But
I thought ADOS was American descendants of slaves.
Oh, American descendants of slaves. Sorry, I got my 1692, 19. Okay. What about the people here in 1849? Yeah. So, Black people have been on this country for a long time, which is why a lot of times when we say 400 years of slavery, we speak to not just the development of America, but also the people who were here prior to the development of America. I do think that foundational Black Americans may even be considered Native Americans. For instance, a slave may have left there or resisted slavery and then joined an Indian population. So, there's differences. We'll get into it. But overall, what do you think? Do you think it's fake woke to kind of have this delineation or not? Just off the bat.
No, I think it's a great way to identify yourself. I think it's a great way to establish yourself as a core group. Um, and I think that people would want to be woke on the idea when reparations come on the table. They would want to be woke. So that's why I believe actually support ADOS and FBA.
Okay.
To be
Okay.
honest, yeah.
I think it's fake woke.
Okay, you think it's fake woke?
I think it's once again if you're going to talk about getting a check,
Okay.
and you're trying to delineate yourself from it, from say the world, in a geopolitical way, it really ignores a lot of what has been going on in the world. It's very convenient. I think when we talk about solving, really the main issue is imperialistic, capitalistic supremacy in the world. We're trying to get rid of, the inequitables from the major corporations, uh, historically brutal capitalistic processes, sugarcane, uh, clothing. A lot of these things are going on in the world, and I think it's very much fake woke because you cannot solve those issues with a check. You have to solve it with the unity, outrage, with groups of people and in coalitions. No problem gets really solved individualistically. So I think that when you try to separate yourself, you're really you're taking one step forward but going three steps back. Because once you get that check, you separate yourself officially. What about the other people? And you create division and divisiveness. So I want to give a shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. He's in the building early with the 30,000 Ugandan dollars, and in tribute
What's up, O'Shea?
and very much in support of the Pan African contributions. We have a special breakdown for that. Let's get to it. Wherever it is, I don't get much donation, so I guess I'm not. I don't know why it's not right here. We'll just play this.
Donations. 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 Gifts. 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 More gifts. More gifts.
Salute to that. Salute to that. So I'm not sure if we're going to be able to open up the call lines. We'll try to get through everything, but we'll make sure that we open it up to at least one person. Chaotic, right?
Hey, however you want to do it, man.
No. We all got time. My football team won, so I'm chilling today.
Okay.
So I want to make sure I respect everybody's time. But as we get to it, let's get to it. To get a precursor on this, we'll go with an interview that I saw that kind of delineates what FBA is. This is Anton on the Don't Do Coke in the Bathroom show. He had an interview with Six the Goddess, and she discussed it.
In a general sense, what are your thoughts about that whole subject?
I think it's extremely important. I think that the concept of, and for those that don't know, FBA stands for Foundational Black American.
You got to turn up a little
If you
bit, bro.
think about it, Black American people, I'm talking about generations we are from here. Like,
Is that
It's not turned up.
It's workable. It's workable. It's not good, but I mean it's not loud, but
because
it's fine.
ADOS is just.
I have it on full blast.
Where an FBA means the descendants of slaves plus any native or Aboriginal or I'm sorry, indigenous Black people here as well.
Okay.
So ADOS is just the descendants of slave people who came over here from Africa, whereas FBA means all Black people who are the foundation of this country.
So FBA can be somebody that migrated over here, but is, for example, got a green card or they're considered a citizen.
No. FBA mean your family got brought here in the slave trade, like back in the 80s.
So let me ask you this, Chaotic.
Yo.
Do you believe that you should be separating, say, for instance, immigrants that came to this country at, say, 1900s that experienced, say, Jim Crow, but then you're separating it from descendants of slavery?
What do you mean? You gotta ask your question again. What do you mean?
Say a person came over from, say, Jamaica in, say, 1940. One person I can think of is Marcus Garvey. Do you think that because of the harshness that he received in America, his children, his delineation should not receive the same support?
Yeah, again, in terms of just reparations, if individuals of slave descent that were in the continental North America, and not Canada, but I'm talking about the continental North America, what is now the United States, if they can prove that their ancestors were here during colonial times or times when other groups of people held, like the French, for example, with Louisiana, they had colonies. The British, the Spanish had Texas for a while, or what is now known as Texas. If you can prove this, then you are entitled to reparations because you have classified yourself as a member of this group. And no, if individual, like for example, Sidney Poitier, right? His family's from the islands. Great Black man. But a lot of people don't know that a lot of people that are Black weren't really, they have no, in terms of what Six is saying, they don't have any ancestral lineage that goes back into chattel slavery in the in what is now the United States of America. So I get what she is saying. And I agree actually with her, believe it or not. I mean, despite the fact that me and Six got into it, I can't deny what she's saying. That's true. So somebody from Jamaica, you would have to, if millions of Black Americans said, I am ADOS or whatever.
Yes.
I'm identifying as ADOS only because there's a possibility of reparations. There's a possibility of this. There's a possibility of some sort of supplemental income, yada, yada, yada. Then there's a legal precedent that could be made. And so that would exclude Africans that just came over here in the 60s or the 70s. That would exclude a lot of these Blacks who came over from the Caribbean because those weren't, because Jamaica's not the United States. Turks and Caicos is not the United States. The U.S. Virgin Islands, I guess we can contest that because if there were Africans bought there, technically that is owned by America. So yeah, we're in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's not a state, but I guess you can argue, hey, my ancestors were in Puerto Rico. They were slaves. Puerto Rico is a territory of the United States. So technically, I'm entitled to this. I'm identifying as ADOS. So now you have a lot of Afro Latinos now identifying. So you have people who look like Rosario Dawson. Clearly not somebody who's a full blood African American, but somebody who can lay claim to it. She's hot boy. And the fact of the matter is that people like Sidney Poitier, who's the my one guy? He just died. Harry Belafonte.
Yes.
Louis Farrakhan. Them types know because your ancestors weren't a part of this new continent, this new government. So somebody from Jamaica, you would have to contest your claim or identity to the king now because that's UK. So yeah.
But okay, so see, that's where I get messed up at, because if we're talking about reparations, I always felt that reparations weren't just slavery, it was also Jim Crow era stuff. Basically everything up until equal rights were
No,
established in the civil rights era.
I don't agree with that. But go ahead.
I would agree with that, because you got to understand sharecropping is another form of slavery. Uh,
Well, that means that
black
white. That means the white.
having specific black licenses is a form of slavery.
Yeah.
Black capitalism is a form of slavery. You know, these things all happen, and you know, if you want to actually be fair about it, you know, insurance companies being able to sell insurance to black people, even though they were free black people, you would have to hold those companies established responsible too. So I believe all of these people need to be held responsible if we're going to talk about reparations. We can't just say, okay, at 1865, that's the line that we're going to call. I think if you're going to talk about getting a check, you have to go up until when America made a system to where separate but equal protections were equal.
I mean, I guess you can argue that. I guess you can argue that. But I guess the claim to what an ADOS is a person of chattel slavery. So regardless of, you know, let's use Farrakhan, right? Regardless of his mom, you know, moved to the States in the 30s, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, he was born here, of course. And his mom obviously lived through it. I would say no, because he's not an ADOS. You know, he's, what do they call it? What do you guys call it? A tether, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I go with the hard approach definition of ADOS. Now, what you're saying could be correct in terms of assuming that Jim Crow was messed up. I could see that.
Assuming,
but yeah. Well, it's my opinion. Assuming you didn't live through it, you didn't live through Jim Crow, did you?
well, my parents. Well, actually, my parents did.
Well, that's what. I mean,
sitting on back of the bus, yeah, that type of stuff.
That's what they told you?
Yes.
So if you call them right now, they'll say they sat on the back of the bus?
Yes.
And what city?
Tennessee, Knoxville.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Even if it wasn't legal, it still was implied.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it, man.
Okay. But the fact that, okay, well, like I said, if we're going to talk about FBA, this is where, like I said, this is all fake woke, because essentially, if we're going to talk about reparations,
I think
you're gonna,
Fatty.
yeah, I see him. We're going to get him in here. If you're talking about, say, reparations, I think that you have to go up until 1965 based on a lot of things. That's where the government said, you know what, we're going to fix and rectify this. They're separate. We're going to force private businesses, and we're going to also fix public businesses.
So you would give out reparations as a
I don't believe in reparations.
So what do you believe in?
I believe that America should hold its promise to the poor, to the educated. If there was to be a reparation, this should have been done when it should have been when 40 acres and a mule.
So to the actual victims of, or the immediate descendants. Okay.
So because, like I said, now we get into the point of, and we're gonna get into it, of mulatto people. But hold on, let me introduce my other guests. From another land, oddly enough, from a land that probably housed more that enslaved more black people than any other country. Fatty.
Oh, Portugal? Yeah, Portuguese were horrifying. Yeah. You're on mute, Fatty.
You're on mute.
That was one of the worst introductions of all time, eBlack. Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Salute to the black side of it, Fatty, but
God damn it. How you guys doing?
What's going on?
Here we go.
So we're talking about FBA. Fatty, you've been here to America a couple of times. What is your view on FBA and ADOS?
I don't understand who Tariq Nasheed is to actually create something on the last 20 years that is so important and relevant in such a small time. And for what I know of Tariq Nasheed, he has a half white woman with the white mother-in-law, half white brother, that is half Mexican brother, and all that. But all of a sudden, Fatty from Portugal is not black as eBlack, and eBlack is not as black as Chaotic because they have different backgrounds and all that. I just find it funny. And all of these division because of monopoly money.
Yes.
There's no president on the race that is trying to get nobody reparations. No one. The people that could do it, they're way far from the throne. So all of this shit just because of monopoly money that probably if it's going to be given away is probably to your granddaughter when it's like 3% of the population that can prove they can give reparations. Now is when they will say, you see, black people, here we go, your reparations, when all of the people that could prove probably are dead or are mixed with other races or other communities, other nationalities, that now makes the process very difficult to trace. Like, for example, what happened with the Native Americans. We are going to give you casinos and land, but not when you are 30% of the population, not when you are 5% of the population, when you are 1% and half of your alcoholics. Now I'm going to give you things. So you guys, like, this is all a game.
And really, and even in some states, like, because people don't understand, Oklahoma is technically supposed to be an Indian state. Even Oklahomans don't want it to be an Indian state, so I don't think America really is going to hold up its standard. But before we get too far, I want because like I said, we're gonna cover this, and I want to make sure that we're covering it in depthly and responsible. So we're gonna bring up reparations directly from Tariq Nasheed.
Not what you think, and like people even change their names and shit like that because of education, the spelling changed and all kind of shit, or they added some fancy shit to it.
There's outliers to it, but generally it's pretty easy to trace your lineage back to slavery, to a plantation, or it's easy to trace your lineage back to at least the 1870 census. The average person who can trace their lineage back to 1870, 9 times out of 10, you came from a slave plantation, because they'll list you as a farm worker or domestic or something like that. So that means you came most likely from a slave plantation. And that's a little bit different from somebody who immigrated over, because you wouldn't be eligible for a reparations claim. We can't open up that door, and this is for several reasons. If we start letting African and Caribbean brothers start getting reparations based on the Jim Crow treatment, then what's going to happen? The damn white Hispanics are going to start saying, okay, well, damn it, I was mistreated too. And then it's going to undermine the reparations claim. We respect CARICOM. Over in the Caribbean, they have a reparations movement called CARICOM, where all the Caribbean nations are going to Britain and France and all of these other colonial powers to get their reparations. We're not included in that. We don't trip on that. That's fine. In Africa, they have the African Union, where all the African nations get together and they're trying to get tangibles for themselves. We're not included in that. But when we say we're going to do a movement for ourselves and say, hey, foundational Black Americans, we're going to try to get tangibles for ourselves, a lot of people want to say, okay, well, y'all being divisive now. No, we're doing the same thing as everybody else. We're getting tangibles for our group. We respect everybody else's tangibles and them fighting to get theirs, and people should respect ours.
So there, he speaks about essentially exactly what I'm against, essentially including Jim Crow in it, and then he also includes other groups of people. What do you guys think?
I agree with him. I agree. I believe that reparations in the United States of America should exclusively be for individuals of slave descent. When you introduce Jim Crow, you're introducing another anomaly, because a lot of people were here during Jim Crow. You can argue and say that the Italians then can get it, because the Italians were subjugated at one point. They were hung from trees, believe it or not. Then other groups of people can argue. The Japanese can argue again. The Chinese believe it. You know, there was something called the Chinese Exclusion Act, which was in 1880 something, I think. So you can start arguing these claims. I think that up until 1865, that should be the cutoff date, and it should just be primarily for individuals who are of slave descent in America. So from 1776 to 1865, you're going to need to get economists. You're going to need to get all types of people at the university level that can do calculations, that can, in terms of how much money, how much time, relatives. A lot of it will be estimations, but you need to see all of these relatives that existed from 1776 to 1865, how many hours that they worked. Obviously, that'll be an estimate because we don't really know how long the slaves worked. They could have worked 3 hours a day for all we know. Then add up the production. What did they produce? Cotton, tobacco, things of that magnitude. What did it sell for? It's too much complexities, man, when you introduce Jim Crow on top of everything else. Just leave it to slavery. Leave it to a certain types of specialists to go in there and do the Lord's work. Other than that, Africans get nothing. A lot of Latinos get nothing. Asians get nothing, etc. I agree with Tariq on that note, to be completely honest with you. And I don't even like Tariq, believe it or not. I don't like Tariq.
Fatty, what you got to say?
I'm glad that the Brazilian descendants of slaves are not going to be paid by what they were extracting, because I think gold is a little bit more valuable than cotton. That will be an interesting way of putting it. But again, it's not about black, it's about green. That's all that.
It's about a check. Yeah.
And being about green, I agree with him. Make sure that the people that are direct descendants of slaves get what they want, get the reparations, get the economic power that they think they got stolen out of, because even slave owners got reparations. The Jewish people got reparations, the French got reparations, a bunch of colonies got reparations from the country they were occupying. So I think they are entitled to it. The only thing that, again, I don't understand is when it's going to be like, since Tariq Nasheed is doing a purity test, which it is, he's separating people, you are not good enough for this. How much of a reparations is his daughter is going to get? Because she's what, 66% black, 75% black? Like, what do you get now, right? Since it's a purity test that we're going to do, what stops chaotic truth from coming to the door and says, no, mother-in-law is white, so there's half of your wife, there's 25% at least. So you don't get the full value, you get 65 to 75%. Like, and now we're going to get into a Pandora box that are going to open that you could never close.
And then not only that, what if your grandparents had children by multiple men? One guy was a light-skinned guy, and another one was a dark-skinned guy. Are you going to give two kids 75% and then this kid 100%? Like, are we going to have to go straight into DNA analysts with this? Like, so I think it's ridiculous. House TV says, at least with the right, they're honest about not giving reparations. But in return, you pay less taxes, cheaper gas, and smaller government, which helps all Americans. Once again, this kind of goes on to my idea. I don't want reparations, but I want for the promise of the feeding the poor and social programs to establish the wrongs that America has provided. So salute to him. I walk around with my Haitian flag and dare anybody to do something about it. Patriotism in the chat. Marriage, politics, and sports. FBA versus ADOS is idiotic. I couldn't agree but more. Breezy, is this a Spanish name? Diallo?
Breezy Diallo.
I
think it's more a Nigerian name, to be honest.
Yeah, Diallo. CT had a whole stream saying America has never been racist.
Damn.
How you pro reparations, sir?
Well, I can answer that question.
Do you want to answer that?
I can answer that. Again, you can put it on the screen if you want to.
Okay.
Put it on the screen. Oh, okay. Again, America has never really been a racist country. Slavery has always existed. It was a global problem. It had existed since the beginning of time. So slavery was just a system of injustice within itself. At this very moment, there are slaves right now. All groups of people had slaves. So yes, I say it wasn't racist. It was all economics. And I gotta say it. In the Western Hemisphere, a lot of the darker skinned people just happen to be slaves. Now we can go into details as to as to why, but we don't have the time for that.
Yeah,
Sounds like whataboutism to me, Scotty, to be honest.
That's possibly so.
Because if it wasn't about race, they could enslave the natives. They already are accustomed to the lands and to whatever we have going on. Instead of killing them, they could just put them in chains and do whatever they wanted to do.
Who's to say that they killed them?
Most of them either.
How do you know that?
Make your point. What is your point? You think that
my point is that you and I have no idea what really happened back then. We're only told. No, give me a second. We are only told these things through a game of telephone. We don't really know what happened back in those days. We don't really know if millions of natives were just. When I was a kid growing up, they told us millions of natives were slaughtered. I don't believe that for the life of me. That the white
nigga, please.
I don't believe that the white man was just walking around. Just here go a native, pow. Here go a native, pow. I don't believe that.
You know, sounds like what King Leopoldo from Belgium did in Congo in the 30s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like going there and killing and mutilating 7 to 8 million people. Pow and pow. And it sounded like let's unleash the dogs. Sounds like something that white people been doing for centuries. But we're not going to talk about it.
All right, let me get through some of these other comments, guys, because we have a lot to uncover and unpack.
That real quick. I want to broach that.
Tethers hate FBAs because FBAs make fun of tethers in school. It's often deep, visceral anger tethers have for FBAs. Do you think the opposite? Because I'm not for reparations, but do you think the overall why an immigrant may not care about reparations is because they're just being picked on?
No, I don't believe that at all either.
Yeah, okay.
It may be isolated incidents, but when I was a kid growing up, foreign kids, all types of kids got along with each other. Now that was the 90s. I don't know how it is now, but everybody has their own anecdotal experience. I didn't experience any. I didn't experience it all.
Yeah, I agree. I'm Haitian, and most of us don't even care about Karma Khan. I don't even know what it is.
You should.
They enslaved the Aboriginals.
No, they didn't.
Okay.
No, they didn't.
eBlack, reparations will never happen. I agree with you. I don't think reparations will happen. I think it's a carrot, horse carrot.
Well, they should
on a string. I think it's a horse carrot on the string. You keep doing the work.
I'm gonna tell you why that should happen, because you're talking about hundreds of billions of man hours worked for free.
Yeah,
that's why That's why it was an economic. It was an injustice. It was an economic injustice, and I would argue that even right now in this day and age, the Congolese government, the Chinese, they should argue the same thing with American companies. All these kids that are working in those mines in the Congo, when they get older, they should protest Apple and all these American companies, saying we've worked billions of hours for pennies on the dollar, while this company in 1 year was worth $1 trillion. So yeah, so I think reparations should always be a thing on the table.
I think, and I'm going to bring up another video to kind of explain. This one is from Lumumba Speaks. He talks about how this is more or less about Black people being treated like chess pieces pawns on the chessboard. So let's go to this video.
Many people take umbrage with the FBA ADOS movement is the fact that they find many of the individuals who have taken on this movement signifying and parroting the very anti-African, anti-Black rhetoric of the colonizers that we're supposed to be fighting against. So I think that's one issue. I think a third issue we have to look at when we talk about undermining. There isn't a history of African or Caribbean immigrants coming to America and undermining Black liberation struggles. There isn't a history of that. However, what we do know is there have been some Black and African immigrants who have come to America and been put in positions of power by the white power structure, just like African Americans have been put in a position for positions of power or the white power structure, and they work to what? Do harm to African people, irrespective of where they are in the world. The last point I would make is that Kwame Nkrumah taught us that if we are vaguely nationalistic in our approach to defeating white supremacy, rather than Pan-Africanist in origin, we would simply be used against each other like pawns on a chessboard.
This is where I come into the play. The more we keep fighting with each other, the more we start trying to fight over the last pork chop. We are just being pawns into the old global scene of we are trying to fight white supremacy. We are trying to fight globalism, empirical, patriarchal, capitalistic superiority. These are things that we are truly trying to fight into. We're not trying to fight each other. We should not be fighting each other. When Haiti becomes independent and they're able to get a great economy, that helps Black people. When Ghana gets a great economy, that helps Black people. When Black people in America get great economy, that helps the world. It doesn't help just one group of people. We should not be fighting over the last pork chop at the table.
Fatty, you want to go? Because
no, you are playing. I think it was the violin or the guitar. I don't see what's the problem with what the Black said. What's your push back?
The last thing you porch monkeys need is for white supremacy to end. If white supremacy ended overnight, I would give it 1 month, 30 days. Almost every system, almost every institution would collapse within 1 month. Black people are incapable of running a global society. What are the facts? Well, all you got to do is just look at the continent of Africa. All you got to do is look at anywhere Blacks are at and look at the condition of the institutions, the infrastructure, the overall society. Name me a successful Black state right now. Is it Jamaica? No. Is it Nigeria? No. Is it South Africa? No. Is it Angola? No. Is it Brazil? No.
Wakanda.
Is it Wakanda? No. Black people just don't have it. First of all, Black people are afraid of the ocean. So you wouldn't even have shipping and logistics. I ain't going over no ocean to ship these goods to nobody. I ain't doing that. Negroes ain't gonna work the sewage systems. I'm telling you, it will collapse. So that Negro, Lumumba, he stole Patrice Lumumba's name, by the way, of Congo.
Yes.
That Negro, Lumumba, if I'd have been on that panel, I'd have told him, hey, I ain't living. Hey, if white supremacy, if you niggas fight white supremacy, I'm fighting you. Because I already know what would happen if white people left this planet or just left everything to our own devices. Now, Fatty, I see you're getting a little upset down there.
No, I don't know. I know you are no.
Okay.
Listen to me. I know you are a shock jocker.
I'm not a shock jocker, sir.
I don't believe in all the things you say.
I'm a real jocker because you yourself are living in Portugal.
Yes.
You're living in the white man's country.
Yes.
See, that's what I know you are. See.
Yes. Do you see a problem with that?
Hell no, I don't see a problem with it. Hell no.
This is the example that they gave me. If somebody came to my house and stole the television and they grabbed that shit and they went back to their house and I knew about it, right? And on Sunday, I opened their door and sit on the couch to watch the game. And they say, what are you doing here? Get out of my house. Nah, you stole my TV. I have all the right to see you sitting right here on your house watching the game. That's what we Africans are doing in Europe. They stole our television and now we are here on Sunday watching the game. That's all that is. Sir, let me ask you something. Right?
You gonna get this work, nigga.
Because you talk about white supremacy, right? Is green supremacy All these S&P 500 countries, the companies, they care about the green supremacy. It's not the white supremacy. As long as they are in front, as long as the American government is controlled by the lobbyists, you guys are going to talk what the green people, the people with money want. It's not what white people want. It's not what black people want. And just to actually wrap it up, you have to understand that there's no black country on this planet that has its sovereignty for more than 60, 70 years. All these countries that you talk about, Angola, all these countries that you talk about, Haiti, all they were occupied by white people throughout the 90s. Most of them. Portugal, like the Portuguese colonies were released 50 years ago, 60 years ago. All of these countries are very young. They don't even have time to flourish. It's like you talking about USA Jim Crow era. You guys are free. Why you guys already don't have infrastructure? Because these things need time. In 20 years, now you have a bunch of black billionaires. You have black people striving. You have chaotic true and eBlack TV with a voice to actually tell the other people what to do and what not to do to guide them. So once again, sir, let people crawl. China is already starting to walk. You have a lot of countries. India is starting to walk. African countries are still crawling. Let's talk in 40 years, 30 years, and all these countries that we consider trash, like Brazil, India, Pakistan, like these countries that are kind of in the run, but now let's see where they are in 40 years compared with all the countries in the world. These countries need to have time to grow. Let them grow and let them fail. Once they fail, when me and you are 73, I will tell you, you are chaotic was right. But right now, it's very unfair to give them that because once again, these countries don't have 600 years of history, 500 years of history, slavery for free without reparations, and the help of other people.
And let's be honest, Africa was carved up, and even the borders that Africa has now weren't created by even the Africans on the ground.
It was the white people with the pink map. They got to.
It was the.
Okay,
Never saw that movie.
I would like to give a rebuttal to Fatty. He said that the reason why the African is in Europe is because the white man stole his TV. You blackies didn't have no TVs in ancient Africa. You barely had a mud hut. Blacks did not listen. Blacks were not the conqueror. Black people, for the most part, were just agrarian people, just like most people on the planet, just fishing and farming. You never built anything over 2 stories. You didn't build any empires. You didn't practice metallurgy at a high level. You sat there. Our ancestors with their sorry asses walked on gold, walked on diamond. And the fact of the matter is, sir, is that I get what you're saying. Yes, there are no true black nation states that are older than 60 years, other than Ethiopia. However, what about the other 10,000 years when our ancestors were in Africa? You mean to tell me they couldn't fortify Africa? They couldn't come together and unify with a few languages? They couldn't build major infrastructure? Sir, there might have been a problem with the African, man. I know it's hard to believe this, man, but maybe a lot of these people are right. Like Pastor Manning, maybe there is something wrong with the black man's mind.
Do we say that about Mongolia?
Who cares about Mongolia?
No.
Who cares?
Iraq is a shittle country. They should have.
Mongolia exists now. Who cares?
I reckon Vietnam should have skyscrapers by now. They are losers. They should
Vietnam is a shithole. Yeah, you're right.
So, God, let me ask you something. This is an honest question, right? Because the Americans are the creme de la creme. Like they are the police of the world. They are Debo. They are the bear. You don't poke the bear, right? Yeah. Let's imagine if something bigger than the bear comes to Earth, which is aliens, right? And as soon as aliens come to Earth, they say this: we are going to occupy the United States of America for 500 years, and we are going to extract every resource, enslave every citizen, and make sure that we take everything that this country produces to us, the aliens from Mars, from now to 2000 to 2500, right? 500 years from now, how would United States fare against all the other countries that had room to go for 500 years while their resources would be extracted by the aliens? Do you think those countries will be way more advanced, way more civilized, and way more resources to go than the country that was explored and destroyed by the aliens for 500 years? What do you think it would happen, Chaotic? Do you think the United States would still be number one and they could actually hang around with other countries? Because if you don't notice my analogy, this is what happened with the colonialism. This is what happened with them. They went ahead during 500 years, murdered, killed, and took everything to the European country, and then that shit was spread to the United States via whatever you guys have going on. Why? What do you think would happen to the United States if such a thing would happen? What do you think would happen in the United States if Mexico invaded the United States for 500 years and took their resources for that amount of time? Do you think they will be still number one, or do you think that other countries will surpass them and get better and better while they couldn't grow? Go ahead.
Well, going by your example, of course, if an alien race came and did that, of course, we would be destroyed. But sir, you and I both know that ancient Africans didn't have advanced infrastructure and advanced society in the first place. They didn't.
How do you know?
Sir, they would have. Sir, there's nothing in antiquity that proves that.
How do you know? We discover
the first books were in Africa.
Okay, where in Egypt?
No, Timbuktu.
What are the names?
There were libraries.
What were the names? Okay, what is the names of the books?
I mean, they had books.
I'm asking you.
The Cat in the Hat, nigga. Shit.
No. Wait a minute. I'm being respectful. I did not know that. You are saying the first books were in Africa. You said Timbuktu. What are the names of the books?
There were plenty of books, scholarly readings.
What are the names of them?
There were also trade routes. The thing about it, hold on. The problem with a lot of times when you make these things, we're using the European lens of gauging what its success is.
What was the name?
A lot of European nations is that Europeans.
eBlack. He's a fallacy. Don't give him that.
What?
Give him the,
He said that they had books. I'm asking,
chaotic.
What were the names of the books?
So chaotic. Let's see if you can prove your point this way.
I'm not even arguing.
I got you. We don't know. We concede. I don't know the name of the books. What I know is that there's what thing called the Great Library of Alexandria in Egypt, and that shit was burned to a crisp. And that shit is not there anymore. If you go there, you will not see books, you will not see knowledge, you'll see a bunch of dust. How can we prove that white people didn't burn everything and destroy everything else? Just like they destroyed the statues, just like they took the noses of the Sphinx, just like they destroyed everything so they could feel bad about themselves. How can you prove that? Because that's what you told me a couple of minutes ago. How can you prove that white people did that to black people? How can you prove that?
So wait a minute, let me get this straight. So you mean to tell me this advanced black society, all these universities and libraries,
yes,
conquered by some primitive white people? Then
they were agents of peace. White people were agents of war. That's why they got.
Wait a minute. Let me get this straight.
They had knowledge, but they were friendly.
Let me get this straight. Because I know what I've seen on the hieroglyphs, and I've seen. I mean, on the hieroglyphs, they literally have shown battles on the hieroglyphs, and these are black Egyptians killing other blacks. You mean to tell me that the Egyptians were peaceful, and I clearly could see them using arrows and chariots and riding over their enemies?
They
hold on, Fatty. No, we're not going down this line right now. You're talking about global policies in which, in a society at that particular time, racism didn't exist. What ended up happening was once chattel slavery existed, because servitude was always a thing. You know, you had Moorish people that went up to Spain, they enslaved, say, Spaniards. Romans would get enslaved. This was a part of the process. Your skin color was not as important, more or less, to what you were, your nationality. It was just a normal thing. There was free trade amongst all groups of people. once chattel slavery happened, and
Damn.
in a mass importation and a devaluing of black skin happening, that's when we ran into a lot of issues in the geopolitical area. So I understand what you're saying, but let's just move on. All right.
You know the delete system, and you know the delete system is
The what?
the delete. You know the
No.
delete. It's a caste system in India that has been going on for thousands of years.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
sir. People were practicing racism thousands of years ago, sir. In terms of like your skin tone.
Yes, but black people never
Look
ship
it up.
it.
You look that-
But
that-
yes,
that-
but black people never ship white blonde people from Sweden to Congo to work on their.
because blacks were too stupid.
No, because they were they have passions, sir.
Our ancestors were too stupid, sir. They were too stupid, and they weren't conquerors.
You got to understand a lot of the diseases white people couldn't handle, even Native Americans can handle. The African bloodline is the strongest bloodline, so we'll leave it at that. So let's move on.
I want to have superhuman strength. Then
yes.
I want to.
Yes.
Black people have super strength.
I'm asking.
Yes.
My God.
Thank you for conceding chaotic. Yes, we have. Go ahead. You got it.
All right. What I want to do is I want to get to the comments. I want to get some comments that I starred. Also some super chats, and then we're gonna move into kind of a video from O'Shea Duke Jackson in regards to, because he's more of a global Pan-Africanist too. So I want to bring that into the conversation. So Seahorse, eBlack, blacks are cursed to fight each other. They will always do this.
Can I just make one little comment?
Sure.
If you look at the history of Europe, Portuguese fought the Spaniards, the Engelmen fought the Vikings, French fought, like all they did was fighting for 1,000 years. So black people can fight for 500. It's 300, 200 years. It's fine. We got this. Shout out to CRs.
Ashton Weens, chaotic believes in reparations. Oh my gosh. For blacks. Wait, he had to add 4 blacks. He didn't just say
damn.
Haiti, great economy. That is Black Don says to my comment.
Black Don is a
chaotic acting like alphabet agencies based, and I guess in the US don't destabilize countries. 1980 Jamaican elections, for example. Uncle Sam is the devil.
Damn, chaotic.
Ivy Dreams says, Fatty, have you been to Brazil? Yes or no?
2 times. Rio and Sao Paulo. And I'll be there by next year too. Because I have YouTube bunny now.
Yes. Seahorse says, Fatty, chaotic is right on this one. Black will always want dependent on white people because they cannot work together on progress. eBlack, Aisha says, eBlack, is your family from the South? Do your genealogy. Yes, my family is from the South, specifically North Carolina and South Carolina. I also come from a long line of dark-skinned people, so salute to that. But let's get into this video. I want to get into O'Shea because he talks about in regards to partnering with Africans.
I feel like even now, the African Union isn't doing enough to really build up the African American diaspora to win us back, to partner with us as diaspora. I just don't feel it, right? Which is why I'm doing the work on this channel to bring African Americans and the diaspora together. But let me tell you something. Don't let that be the reason why you don't want to work with Africa. Don't let that be the reason why you cannot partner with Africans in America. Okay? Now, we do understand there are some ignorant Africans. They're going to talk trash to African Americans, right? We know that. There are going to be some ignorant Africans on the continent that will say things that are pejorative towards us. And we have ignorant African Americans that speak on other people in the Black diaspora. We got to really stop listening to ignorant people. I've made ignorant comments about the continent. I've made ignorant comments about African Americans, but I'm smart enough to not let that stop me from the big picture. And we all should be focused on the big picture, okay? I want to show you personally, or tell you personally rather, that everything I've done since I've been coming to Uganda has amplified in my life 300%. Now, this coronavirus.
He's going to go into coronavirus, but he talks in regards to my standpoint of we're trying to create a global economy. We're trying to create a system to where Black people across the globe can be self-sufficient, can be helpful towards each other. No matter your country of origin, we should be helping each other. And yes, you're going to have some ignorance, but the overall goal is to help each other, to come together. FBA and ADOS is fake woke stuff that only divides people.
It is the duty of the American and particularly the African American to continue the exploitation of Africa.
Ooh.
Do the very same thing that corporations are doing in Africa right now. Extracting resources, purchasing land, developing. Think about what the Chinese are doing. They're developing all this infrastructure and land just so that they can get 100-year lease, so they can really own the property eventually. They can really own the landscape eventually. We know that the African countries can't pay it back. Why can't Black Americans do that? That's what I would do. That's what I rock with O'Shea, but I think that his opinion is totally wrong. Wealthy Blacks should exploit Africa just like the white man, just like the Asian, just like the Arab, just like everybody else has exploited that sorry ass continent.
Nigga, please.
That's what is interesting in Black.
Same thing.
This man just 15 minutes ago said what I was doing in Portugal. I'm exploiting them, just like you're telling them to exploit other people. Why is me as an African, I shouldn't be in Europe exploiting them and taking their resources and their power and their light and
you're not taking. Well, you sir aren't taking their resources at all.
I absolutely am.
Well, you're paying.
And I'm taking American resources too by getting super chats every single day, sir.
So he's exploiting us too.
I guess you're right on that. Yeah, I guess.
So
I guess
you are in favor of Americans exploiting Africans, but now that my parents came here to exploit the white continent, you have a problem with that, sir. Tell me why. Why?
Again, man. O'Shea is wrong on that one. And I rock with O'Shea. I've been watching O'Shea for years. But the African Americans should copy the same blueprint that the Chinese, that the Swiss, and other people have been doing. Figure out where some oil reserves, some gold reserves, diamond reserves, coal. I would go if I really had the money, I ain't got 2 pennies to my name. I would go over to the Congo, man, and participate in the extraction of coltan as a third party supplier. Because that's what happens. A lot of those kids, what they do is they mine the coltan, and then somebody owns the facility. Then somebody buys it from them. It's a big supply chain.
So you're fine with being a colonizer yourself?
Oh, of course. I'm an American. You're fine with being a colonizer too, sir. You're a colonizer right now. You're participating in the global slave trade right now.
By your Nike.
Some poor Asian, Oriental, probably a Uyghur, built your computer.
Nigga, please.
Some poor Congolese kid probably mined the coltan for your iPhone and your Android for 50 cents a day. So you're just as much of a colonizer and exploiter as I am. At least I'm real with it. But I do get it. It's wrong. It's wrong. But sir, we're all a part of the same hypocrisy, sir. So shout out to O'Shea for that video. But no, the African Americans should never work with the African. The African Americans should exploit the African.
Just to make sure, Kartik, are you okay with legal immigration?
I'm okay with legal immigration. Yes.
And you are okay with like Africans going to the United States and suck their resources, monopolize the money?
Only the best Africans. Yes.
Only the best, right?
Of course.
Okay. We're good with that. So you are an equal opportunity partner. Like if you can get it, go ahead and take it.
Legal immigration. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just make sure.
All right. So let's switch gears.
Molly
all right.
in America.
Let's switch gears, everybody. First of all, if you're at this point of the show, please leave a comment. Please participate in the chat. Subscribe to each one of these people, Fine Gentlemen's channel. Hit the like button. Do all the things you know you're supposed to be doing on YouTube. But we're going to switch gears into, say, relationships. We talk about FBA, and we kind of touched on the fact in regards to reparations. But how does an FBA person ensure? How do you think an FBA person should ensure their lineage? Because if you're bold enough to claim the strong black on black relationships that kept us together and through slavery, how then we should be act going forward? Do you believe in interracial relationships, Chaotic?
I am a strong supporter of interracial relationships, particularly black women and white men. I believe that one of the things that the black race should do is go out there and explore other cultures. And I'm talking about sexually.
Nigga, please.
And I'm going to tell you why. Black people are toxic when we are around each other. And I've noticed that when you have black people, when they start hanging around whites, hanging around other groups of people, they seem to be smiling. You know, they got a smile on their face. You know, when I was in college, man, some of the happiest black dudes were the black dudes who hung around the white kids. You know, the ones who talk like, yeah, dude, yeah, bro. Those are the happy ones. The black kids who were always were the pro blackity black people, because they're constantly indoctrinating themselves with black nonsense. You know, I saw a documentary about a black family, African American, by the way. They moved to Japan about 15 years ago. They raised one of their kids was already a child at the time. A child of theirs was born there. This black girl is no different than any other Japanese girl. She's just dark skinned. She speaks.
Nigga, please.
She speaks the language like this. She loves the culture. She's so free and happy. She said, you know, she went to go visit her family one time. You know, they kind of were acting. They were in actually the Carolinas, and what it is that when black people are away from each other, we're able to really be ourselves and explore and cultivate other options.
So you're into having more mixed babies.
Again, I am into people being free to procreate with whomever they like. Now, me personally, I'm married to a black woman. I like a dark black chick. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, but I'm not opposed to interracial marriages, because you have to think about even the stress levels, right? I've only dated, believe it or not, 2 white women in my whole life, and I said over and over and over, it was heaven. It was heaven, and just being around white women is heaven. They smile, they're pleasant, they're generally not negative. They don't have attitudes. They don't talk with their necks. And even around white guys, you know, generally the conversation is productive. You know, even somebody who's quote unquote racist, it's still a productive conversation. Black people are just generally negative people, whether they're Africans, whether they're African Americans, whether they're Caribbean. No, it's no. You're asking me a question. You are asking me a question about interracial.
He is right.
I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you my opinion. Black people need to be around other groups of people, man.
Ooh. You know what's funny, Black?
You ever go around a whole bunch of niggas? It's just negative. It's just drama. It's fighting. It's too much, man. I tell people, listen, if you are somebody black, a person at CT, tell eBlack about those beautiful, perfect white ants. Yeah, it's the truth, and he knows it. He knows it. But go ahead, though.
Let me ask you this. Hold on 1 second.
No, I'm not going to interrupt you. Aren't you curious that he had these beautiful white angels that were like heaven, and he ended up with a black woman? Like, why did he left you?
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, the only 2 white girls that I ever talked to was when I was in my 20s, and I was just like most black men. I was playing around. I was sleeping around with a lot of females like you and like eBlack. Let's be honest, a lot of black
Nope.
men are stop it. A lot of stop.
I'm
A
an
lot
incel.
of black men are highly promiscuous when they're young.
But why did they leave you? White women are very
They
promiscuous
didn't
too.
leave me, sir. It's just I was not serious about being in a relationship until recently in my 30s.
So it was heaven, but you were not in a relationship. I got
Sir,
you.
of course it was, sir. Of course it's heaven, sir.
Mm.
That doesn't mean that I wanted to constantly be in a relationship. I didn't want to constantly see somebody. No, I'm generally a loner.
I understand. I understand.
All right, hold on.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, eBlack, let me ask you a question, sir. Let's be honest.
Oh.
You wake up in the morning, it's a beautiful, it's blue skies, it's birds chirping, and you see a white blonde walking down the street. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Who we kidding here? It's like seeing an angel walking down the street. Then, okay, let's say you wake up and you know you see a black chick. She on the phone hollering and screaming. Let me get to the yam. Keisha, didn't I tell you to get the? No, sir. No, white women have a pleasant aura about.
Oh
themselves.
yes.
And you and
911. Can I talk with the supervisor, please? That feminine
black men have been fired, thrown under the bus, and in prison because of black women.
They will call on you. They're Karens.
There are black men in jail under the cemetery right now because of a black woman, sir. Black women are not these angels.
And black and the what is called the what is
I
the
can't
power
believe it, eBlack. What kind of show is this? You asked me about interracial relationship, and now you're attacking me, guys.
No, we're not attacking you.
Opinion. It's
no,
you are actually opinion. You are
actually right. The Central Park 5 were framed by a black woman.
Sir,
you got this. Like
no, it's possible to assume that the Central 5 guys actually did it.
No.
Sure. Okay. I don't care about the Central 5 guys. That has nothing to do with. Hold on. That has nothing to do with me. Just like the 49ers video, winning has nothing to do with you, eBlack. Guys, you're not a monolith. Most black men are not going to jail being falsely accused of anything or being accused of something. You're not a monolith, and you're not going to convince you blackies are not going to convince me that I'm a monolith like you.
No,
I'm an individual, and I've been around all types of people, sir. I've been thrown under the bus, lied on, and attacked by Negroes.
Damn.
To be completely honest with you, even, and I'll tell you something about, and I'll tell you something else. Even in police interactions, whites are always the most pleasant officers. It was a nigga cop that had a gun in my face one time.
Damn, you a victim.
Nigga, please.
Here we go. Here we go. CSI.
It's about everybody has their own individual stories. And so what I'm saying is that when I'm around white women, or when I was around white women,
you feel safe.
Give me a second, sir. I could talk about science. I could talk about math. I could talk about nerdy stuff. I didn't have to put on this bullshit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, girl. And just watch the game. Let me get some of that. See, you have to put on a fake persona around blacks. When you're around a lot of whites, you could just be free. Oh man, I can do what I want to do. And I believe that's one of the reasons why a lot of black people left Africa. They're like, let me get away from these niggas. I can't be myself around these niggas. But go ahead.
Shout out to
Emmett Till didn't exist. Emmett Till didn't exist. Stop. Emmett Till didn't exist.
My God.
Robbie, you were born in 1980. You don't know anything about Emmett Till. You don't know anything about the 50s.
Like, it's funny.
For all we know, Emmett Till was another race hoax. It could have been a cadaver.
What?
Hold on. Stop it. Stop it. It could have been a cadaver body. It could have been a cadaver body that
you mean his mom recognizing that his son had a bloated face? Have you actually seen the documentary of Emmett Till?
I've seen documentaries on Star Trek, sir. Is it plausible to assume that woman is an actress? Is it plausible to assume that he actually did it? Is it plausible to assume that was a cadaver body?
It was a strong point.
Is it plausible to assume that 2 months later, the civil rights movement blew out of proportion now? It's skyrocketing. Is it plausible to assume that all this stuff was just staged?
No, it's not very much possible.
Sir, You believe what you believe, and I believe what I believe. I don't. But I've done stories on the Emmett Till. I've done 2 or 3 live streams about Emmett Till, and I don't think that it's a actual story.
Okay, Alex.
White
Jones,
women have family money. Black women got words of encouragement. Shake my head. All right, that's. But while we're talking about white women, remember when Dr. Umar was on Joe Budden podcast? He spoke about white and black men relationships and why it's important for the lineage. And this goes into our conversation about how can you be FBA, because we're going to go into another video talking about that. How can you be FBA and still date white women? How can you be ADOS and still date white women? It's almost like you're saying, I want the benefits monetary wise, but I also want to destroy what I'm representing and what I want. So we'll get into it.
We broke up. Okay. And why did you get another one and another one and another one until you found the right one? Because I met a white woman that I fell in love with, and that's the person. And you're being disingenuous about something. Not true. And let me tell you what you're being disingenuous about. True. Romance is a function of focus and opportunity. If I want to date an Asian, I'm going to put myself around Asian women so I can find one. If I want to date a Latino, I'm going to put myself around Latino women so I can date one. If you wanted to marry a black woman, you would have put yourself around black women so you can find one. So how did you end up with the Caucasian? No disrespect to her. No, not at all. What I'm telling you is the places that I go socially are not just monolithic. So what? I went to a white college, white job. I never bunny hopped. Listen to my question. Let me answer you. That wasn't my priority. My priority wasn't, I'm not closed off to dating Latino women. I'm not closed off to dating Asian women. I'm not closed off to dating white women. So again, in my search for romance, all of those things were on the table. But you do understand that by not being with a black woman, you undermine the success of the black community. That's your opinion. That's my opinion. Then tell me how the black community benefits from you having a white woman. If I lend to the financial uplifting of that community, one. That's one thing. 2, if I'm helping to educate the people in that particular community, that's a benefit. Does not your white woman benefit more from your economics than any black person? Yeah, probably. Exactly. So why can't they both be mutually beneficial? You want to know why? Because she belongs to the group that is responsible for the historical oppression of your race. So why would you voluntarily go over and marry into that? Because when you marry the woman, you don't just marry the woman or date the woman. You're dating her community and her culture. And given the history.
Umar Johnson is a complete idiot. First of all, the majority of whites had nothing to do with slavery. Second of all, a lot of whites did not start coming into this country until 30 and 40 years after slavery. Polacks had nothing to do with slavery. Italians had nothing to do with slavery. Romanians had nothing to do with slavery. Eastern Europeans had nothing at all to do with slavery. There were no Russian slave owners. Slavery was the only 2 or 3 ethnic groups that were white that participated in the slave trade in America were the French, were the British, and the Spanish. Other than that, in North America, most Ukrainians weren't even in the country until the 20th century. Most Lithuanians weren't in the country until the 20th century. And is Umar going to talk about the Arab slave trade? Of course not. He's never going to mention that. So the fact of the matter is that you're giving Hunky too much power when you're saying, oh, man, they participated in the slave trade. Why do you give Hunky so much power? Why?
But chaotic. The point of what Umar was saying was and I'm just redirecting your focus. I'm just redirecting your focus. The point of what he was saying was, when you marry outside of your race, you're now contributing to the benefit of another group of people.
Okay, you're benefiting to the family that you've created. This is the whole Kobe Bryant paradox. So many people are mad at Kobe Bryant. I'm like, Kobe has every right to marry whom he wants, and his kids are going to benefit from him. Okay, so let me ask you a question. So, why does that only work in terms of black people? What about a white man who marries a black woman and has children with a black woman, and those black kids who are black? What about him supporting the black race? Why does it always it has to work in the other way?
But that's the thing. Is simple logic, right? And the thing is, if you look at Kobe Bryant's daughter, they're actually black. Nobody look at them and see nothing but black daughters there. If you didn't know that Vanessa Bryant was whatever Latina, whatever she's, you look at their daughters and say, yo, that's a black woman there. That's the first one, right? The second one is, again, I understand what he's saying. His motives are just is full of shit. Like Jew community, they want to marry between each other. The Italians want to marry between each other. Like the Chinese want to marry between each other. There's no problem into black people telling other people that they should mingle and marry and procreate between each other. But there's a fallacy there, right? If they say white people are the ones with power and money, and they say that you marrying a white person, you are losing power and money, that shit is actually contradictory. Because if you marry into a white person that probably has more property than you, more money than you, more inheritance than you, that money is going to be funneled into your black family. Because now those kids are mixed, and you aren't, like, you see what I'm saying? Is basic level of, I never understood why nobody asked him, hey bro, do you think that whites in the United States or in the world are socioeconomically better off than black people? Yes. So why don't we infiltrate them and steal the money from them and from their grandfathers and inherit all that shit? Because as we get a little bit lighter, but they become way more darker than they were before. And now we get their money just by the fact that you are marrying into their families and take their resources. Wouldn't that be a fantastic plan actually to extract resources from white people? It's just the logic.
And to go back to what you asked, Chaotic, you asked about what happens when a white man impregnates a black woman. Look at what happened with the European family or the royal family. The royal family was so worried about how dark their kid was going to be.
You believe Meghan Markle? You believe that story?
Oh, I 100% believe that. I believe it.
So the royal family didn't know that she was a mixed chick when she got with Harry. They didn't know that at first. You mean to tell me the same royal family who's their very own ancestor, Queen Charlotte, who was a queen consort, was a black woman? You mean to tell me that same royal family? Do you know the history of the royal family, sir? Do you know that 3 queens ago that the queen consort was a black woman? Her name was Queen Charlotte. I think her last name was McLemore. Yeah. Meghan Markle, just like a lot of these scandals that have taken place with these families, didn't want to work. And Meghan Markle did exactly what liberal women do. They turned it on the family and blamed it on racism. Sir, that royal family didn't say a goddamn thing about that child being black and worried about that kid being black.
She should have stayed there.
First of all, Meghan Markle is she's half white any damn way. She don't even look like no black woman to me. She's really like a white woman. That family wasn't worried about no baby being dark because the baby couldn't even be dark. So it's all lies, man. Meghan Markle is a liar. She doesn't.
This is Queen Charlotte.
Queen Charlotte, right there. You should see other photos of her. That's like one of the lightest ones, sir. History is repeating itself. They
were fucking each other. They were all inbred.
Sir, Meghan Markle doesn't want to work eBlack. Do you know that the queen, the prince? I'm sorry.
Does this look like doesn't look like a black woman? Like the daughters all look black. I want to even go further. Doesn't Serena Williams' daughter look black?
She looks black. Yeah,
she looks like a black woman. What are we talking about? This is a black baby. Like, oh, come on. What are we doing here?
Oh, she got cute babies. Look at that.
She's a black. Yeah, they are black. I'm sorry. Let's put 1,000 Serena Williams into white rich men, and in 3 generations we will run the planet. Let's do it. Divide and conquer plan starts tomorrow. Robbie.
All I'm saying is that Meghan Markle didn't want to work eBlack. It's well known that she was a problem. It was well known that she probably thought that she was going to be a Disney princess when that's not how it works. You have to work. You have to work on behalf of the queen. I need you and Harry to go to Luxembourg. I need you and Harry to go to this event in China. I need you and Harry to speak on my behalf at this event in Africa. I need you and Harry to do 50 hours of community service. I ain't know I had to do all this work. I'm American. Can you imagine this sassy ass American chick, whether she's black or white, coming up in England? She doesn't know the culture there. That's a different culture. You got this woman who has gotten by on her looks all her life because Meghan Markle was really attractive back in the day. I mean, she was on a show called Billions, if I'm not mistaken. She goes over to England. She meets Harry, who's always been a little bit rebellious anyway. And so the Queen on her damn deathbed or close to her deathbed is telling them, you two people got to work. And Meghan Markle like, well, you ain't going to be the king anyway. Your brother, you ain't in line of succession. Why we got to work? Well, Meghan, we have to work. I can do an accent. We have to work now, Meghan. And she's like, I ain't working. I don't care if she your mother. I don't give a fuck. Can we curse over here? I don't give a fuck.
Wait.
I bet you that's what listen, Meghan Markle's mom, her mom is a straight black chick. Her mom, I'm telling you, man, listen, don't get it twisted. Meghan Markle probably was saying, I don't give a fuck.
Damn.
I don't care if she the queen. Fuck her. That don't mean nothing to me. I'm American, man. I'm without a shadow of a doubt. I bet you that's what Meghan Markle was saying. Prince Harry, and he probably was loving that shit because he ain't never seen that with women in the UK. That sassy American culture. What?
Chaotic.
And she the queen. And
this man 30 minutes ago.
She probably broke all types of protocol. She wasn't bowing her head. I ain't bowing my head to her. Damn. She just an old white bitch to me.
And she was snapping her fingers, said, period. I'm not bowing my head, period. Right? That's what this man, like 30 minutes ago, eBlack was saying, Black Americans should go outside and extract the most results possible. And the biggest extraction of all time, which is a black woman integrating herself into the British royal family and make sure they become as dark as possible. He's saying, nope, let's not do that. That's too much. Let's leave these white angels in peace. We shouldn't do that. Let them keep them pure.
Look, I know it's hard to believe, E, but Meghan Markle is still an American. She was born into a regular family. Her mother was a social worker. Her white father was a light guy on the film set. She grew up in California. She grew up in bitch culture, California. And I don't give a fuck. She don't know anything about the royal family. She goes over there, this white woman, telling her, you got to bow to me. She said, bow to you, bitch. What? Fuck, bitch. What?
Is that a submission issue is what you're saying?
Bro, there are so many protocols that you have. Man, you got to read up on decorum around the upper crust of that family. That stuff is real.
I think they had an issue with maybe having darker bloodlines.
They had an issue with her being insubordinate and not working, bro. E, come on, man. You can't be this naive, man. You can't be, bro. You know that black chick went over there acting like a ghetto, typical American female. Sassy, running off at the mouth, feminist. She went over there, that old white woman. Oh, she didn't bow to me, Harry. Harry went back and said, my grandmother, she said you didn't bow to her. Bow to her? The fuck? I ain't gotta bow to her. I ain't no slave, nigga. Tell your grandmama I ain't no. I bet you that's what happened. Go ahead.
Salute to Meghan Markle. Salute to Meghan. Salute to Meghan. Just let me just put a disclaimer up.
Do not attach any association of this to me whatsoever. I have nothing to do with such idiocy, such blasphemy, such ridiculous nonsense.
And I don't give a fuck. E, come on, E. Stop, bro. Stop it. E, stop it. American women, particularly black women, have attitudes. They are feminist. They are looking for a fight. Do you think that this woman who grew up in a country where we openly disrespect the president, openly disrespect the vice president, openly disrespect our justices, people openly disrespect Clarence Thomas, people openly have disrespected Supreme Court to the point where they even
Obama.
They disrespected Obama, disrespected Trump. This woman has grown up.
They called Obama a Muslim.
Listen, bro. This woman has grown up in the country where her politicians have been disrespected.
They said Michelle Obama looked like a monkey.
Bro, it further proves my point that she went over to that country, sir, with little to no disrespect for that woman, because she's grown up in a country where she ain't even got to respect her own damn leaders here. So what's she gonna respect this woman for? The queen? What's she the queen of? And the fuck? I don't give a fuck. Come on, bro. You know it, man. I cuss out Obama. So if she'll cuss out her own president, if she'll cuss out her own members of her Supreme Court justice, if she'll cuss out her own senators.
You talking about Trump?
Man, dude, fatty, in America, people can openly disrespect politicians, man. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that this woman has grown up in a country where she don't even have to respect her own leaders. So she goes to this country, some old white woman telling her to bow. Stop. She ain't, man, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It seems like you're talking about Donald Trump disrespecting everybody, the president, the senators, the lawmakers.
Fatty, you're missing my point.
No, I didn't miss the point.
Meghan Markle has grown up in a country where our politicians are disrespected on a daily basis. They're disrespected on Fox News. They're disrespected on CNBC, MSNBC, vice versa. The royal family over in that country is not like that. People don't openly disrespect the royal family. So she went over there thinking, she just another white chick to me. And that white chick said, you need to not walk in front of me, Meghan, when I'm walking in the... What? You slow, bitch. You got to walk faster. Hey,
can we get some tomatoes in the chat, please?
All right, man.
Can we get some tomatoes?
And eBlack, you know what's funny about this? Funny enough, there's no rules on the United Kingdom that consider a crime you disrespecting the Queen, which is kind of funny. But we're not going to talk about that. Slightly detail that people be talking shit about the Queen for years, making memes about her, telling that she's a vampire, all those stuff, and nothing happens to nobody. This is a regular joke. Prince Charles is a joke. Like, we do this. That's what we do. Like, there's a lot of vitriol towards this this blue line, like the guys that are from royalty. So again, princess, she's not a princess, right? She's just a regular citizen.
She's a duchess.
Yeah. But like, I think they lost all the powers when it comes to the involvement with
those two children should have been stripped of every title.
Okay. So all right. I'm trying to get on the fact. I'm trying to get on the fact of this. Can you be FBA, or can you represent FBA and have white children?
Yes.
Apparently you can. The guy that make the rules as a white, off-white, and like if you make the rules and he can, everybody can afterwards.
Sir, don't you realize that obtaining the white woman is the equivalent of the equivalent of winning the Super Bowl? It is the equivalent of winning the lottery. It is the equivalent of, you beat the final boss in the game and you beat the game. Sir, the white woman is the pinnacle of success.
Nigga, please.
Be honest. So yes,
I don't know about that.
Okay, that's your opinion.
I really don't know.
That's the question, but
in fact, if it's the pinnacle of success, then why didn't you get one?
Sir, what you don't understand is that I am an individual. I prefer dark-skinned women.
But the angels,
I like
though.
black women, sir. I predominantly have dated black women.
So if you were a white man, you would date black women.
If I was a white man, the same way I thought, probably so.
You know, it's funny. This is like a bizarre world. I date mostly white women, and I don't have this type of reverence for them. And Chaotic is married to a black woman and probably touched like one white lady in the cafeteria, like when she was in college. And he has all these good things to say about white women. He's very he's is a contrary, like the contrary day. You see when you see the up is down and down is up. It's kind of something like that. It's kind of funny.
It is the most paradox. It's a weird paradox, So, but salute to everybody in chat. Make sure you get them likes up. Let's finally get into our final video, and then we'll open up the chat after this. But I'm trying to lead this conversation into FBA and lineage talk and all that stuff. I see y'all not biting it, so we're just gonna play the video and then we'll open up the chat afterwards.
Clarify the Frederick Douglass piece.
Oh,
you're absolutely right. About a day.
Frederick Douglass with high esteem, and he married a white woman at the end of the day. So I look at a man's actions more so than who he dates.
Let me respond to my brother, and I appreciate the dialogue because we still brothers even if we disagree. I want to clarify the Frederick Douglass piece. You're absolutely right. About a decade before his death as an old man, he married a white woman. But let's not forget about Queen Mother Anna Murray Douglas, who he was married to for nearly 50 years, who gave birth to all 5 of his children, who helped him escape from slavery to freedom, and who ran the Underground Railroad in Rochester, New York during his absence. I'm only bringing that up because we talk about the white woman so much that a lot of our children don't know. Frederick Douglass had a dark-skinned, chocolate, beautiful, nappy-headed wife. So I want to make sure Anna Murray Douglas gets her due. Now, to your point, that we can marry who we want and not be a coon. How is not building a family with a black woman? How can you be exempt from cooning if you do not build family with black woman?
So by your own rhetoric, it's okay if we marry a white woman as long as we marry a black woman first.
No, you should not be marrying a white woman at all. If the salvation of the African people rests on the shoulders of the African family, do we not have an obligation to be with our own women?
Interesting. So
what
we
is
all
my
know
position on this one? I couldn't understand it. What is his position? That we should date outside of our race?
His position was that it's a little bit of guilty conscience because we all know Mike TV is like 1/8 black. We all know Mike TV ended up getting a white woman pregnant. So he's trying to represent his FBA stance because he also represents FBA. So he's trying to say, I'm FBA, but I am barely white and I have a white girl pregnant, but I'm still for the cause. How do I rectify that?
But there's the thing. What I see on Mike TV, and again, Mike, if you've seen this, just leave me alone. Don't fight me. He has this. You gonna get this work, nigga? He has this FBA versus Tether like rhetoric, right? Yes. Oh, you are not FBA, you're not ADOS, you're not from here. But so he has problems with black people mingling with other black people, but it's not problems black people mingling with white people, which is literally jumping right across races and going exactly like that. Actually confuses me a little bit because I thought he was pro-black, but the pro-American black. No, he's pro-American black, but he's pro-white woman and like interracial relationship and all that. Isn't that a bunch of confusion? How can you separate you as a black American from black people that do just like you, that don't like are from Jamaica or the United Kingdom, all that, and then promote interracial marriage and dating outside of the race and all that shit? If that's his opinion, and I don't know if it is, and let's see if I can talk with him about that. It's kind of confusing. So
and that's the position that what I'm bringing here to the table is that if you are claiming a strong lineage of mothers and fathers going through slavery, dealing with stuff, we need to pay these people back for their struggles. But then at the exact same time, with the high reverence that you have for your history, you don't have a high regard and high respect for your own self to say, I want to continue that legacy. Not only that, when we talked about the previous segment was you're now benefiting another culture. You're now benefiting another Scottish American or another Irish American by having children with people from different races. So I believe this in this particular case, this is why I consider the whole FBA stuff fake woke, because when you have people who are obviously mixed race really fighting your cause, and then at the same time wanting to have sex with white women, you cannot really hold up the FBA ADOS flag because you really don't give a damn. You just want to check.
It would be like Dave Chappelle saying, I'm FBA, and he has an Asian woman. You see what I'm saying? It will be, I get it. It's fine. You can be pro-black, in my opinion, and date outside of the race. You can absolutely do it. I think your actions say more about if you're pro-black or not. Choosing a black woman will be someone that you could consider that too, but there's a lot of black men that are married with black women, and the only thing they do is talk shit about black people. So, and they're not more pro-black than the guy that actually does anything for the community. But that's the thing. It's just confusing. It's just like he wants tolerance for his own situation, but doesn't want tolerance for the situation of the others around him.
Bingo. That's what I'm hearing. And once again, this is not about light skin. This is about lineage. If you care about, if you're going to go jump out of a limb and say that you come from a lineage of these group of people that suffered so much horrific things, but then you then benefit the other people who actually did the suffrage, I'm confused. Are you basically saying that you're going to give the check that you get from reparation and benefit the people that actually did you harm? What's the reparation for then? So I find it a cold paradox, chaotic. Help us out.
It's no need to help out. You guys have your opinions. My opinion still sticks. Whether you are FBA, whether you
with
are
white women. Oh, never mind.
Are you gonna let me finish, sir? Yeah, let me come on, man. Whether you are a Marxist, whether you are a communist, whether you are a capitalist, whether you are FBA, whether you are a racist, whether you are a black supremacist, the white woman will always be the top trophy. Doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. She will be the white woman is the trophy. She is the greatest gift, at least in our solar system. Let's be honest, man. When you're with a white woman, let's be honest, man, you get more attention. You really do.
No,
especially if she's a blonde. Let me finish. Can I finish? Can I finish?
He's nervous. He's like, you're so being nervous.
If you think about it for a minute, if you are with a thin, tall blonde, relatively young, right? Early 20s. If you walk into a place with a white woman, it could be a black event. You're the man automatically.
Yes.
You walk into a place where it's just all white, all whatever. You're the man. Who is that guy? Let's be honest, bro. Let's like, why are we playing here? So it doesn't matter.
So chaotic.
Kings, queens. I mean, kings of all races. Even black presidents have got white women. They're the trophy.
I have a question for you. Very important. Taylor Swift over Beyonce, bro?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, of course.
Wow.
So first of all,
Taylor Swift over Beyonce.
First of all, Beyonce probably wasn't the best example with me because I've never thought Beyonce was drop dead gorgeous. I think I've seen her in concert. I think she's one of the greatest performers. But I've never thought Beyonce was like, super, super damn hot. But
what about Taylor Swift?
Over who?
Over whatever. She has a flat back.
Taylor Swift's body is hot. So Taylor Swift is hotter than Beyonce.
She has a motherfucking cat. Really chaotic, like Earl.
Brother, yes, she's younger.
Let me Google Taylor Swift sexy. I will Google Taylor Swift sexy, which is the best picture she has.
Okay,
Taylor.
We can agree to disagree. That's fine.
Let's see. Let's just Google.
But
damn.
Again, Umar Johnson is wrong here. That's why I tell people, especially when I was teaching eBlack, I already told you this. I used to tell the kids, get away from these black chicks with attitudes, man. Get a white woman or white girl. Well, these were kids at the time.
Damn.
Get a white chick.
Taylor Swift needs like 7 BBLs.
Hey man, these are just my opinions, man. You
no, it's fine, Kartik. We have the right to exchange opinions. I just want eBlack to put this on the screen real quick, just to make sure that let's make sure that you see what you want. Kartik, I will ask you again,
bro.
Sir. You are going to be excommunicado from the black community.
Let me get to the yam. Taylor Swift, in my opinion,
yes, sir,
is the quintessential white girl.
Nigga, please.
What part do you like her? Like in these pictures, can you point to on the doll?
White.
Yeah, can you point on the doll? What part do you like?
Is this dude not listening? Is he not paying attention to anything that I'm saying? Is he not listening to anything that I'm saying here? What about her, sir? She's white. She's thin. She's blonde.
God damn it.
When she's walking down the street, it's like watching an angel walk. Come on, bro. You yourself even said all you do is say white women. You know what I'm talking about, fatty.
Damn.
Bro, why are you playing, bro? At least, you know, at least
stop. Okay.
Real.
We gotta stop this shit.
What about her? She's white, bro. That heavenly skin tone. That heavenly. Okay, man. You
right, we're gonna.
I am. Like I need to cut.
You're
this
the
clip.
one that dates.
I will cut this clip. Like,
go ahead. You can have it.
This is amazing.
You can have it, man. Man. Salute to everybody. Once again, we're not going to be here for too much longer. We're going to bring you guys up one by one. Please make your points very clear and concise and on topic. Also, be respectful to the host and their guests. We're going to start off first. I'm going to go with ladies first. Robbie.
Hello, gentlemen. Chaotic. Hey.
What's going on?
Y'all leave Chaotic alone, okay? Just because he likes that pumpkin spice latte, Ugg boots in the summertime, smelling like, a poodle, just because that's what does it for him and that's what turns him on. He's allowed to do that. MAGA, make America great again, okay? Chaotic has sat here and told us black women to go ahead and divest, and I say, F it, divest. Be great. Live.
Nigga, please.
Live free. Like, I have to agree with Chaotic on this one. Why are we trapped? Black men tell you all the time, ladies, they don't like you. Be with somebody that likes you. Go be with the Asian men. They want to spend all the money. I just did a video today about Asian men and black women. It is a thing. We winning. Joe Curry, it's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard. All right, listen. Everybody just be great. Like, Chaotic is over here trolling y'all in your fucking face. He got a whole black woman. No. And you're sitting here going for the bullshit. Stop it. I can't.
He likes white women because they kiss their dogs in the mouth.
Yes. They cuddle up with them. They put peanut butter on their, you know what I'm saying, their private parts. They let them eat it off. It's a great day in the neighborhood. I don't know. Y'all are silly.
Damn.
Robbie, so all right, real quickly, what do you think about the FBA ADOS talk? Do you consider it fake woke?
It's all stupid. Like, stop looking for a check. The United States of America is not writing black people no checks. I don't give a damn if you're FBA, ADOS, twice removed, third cousin from your uncle's side, estranged. America's saying, fuck you niggas. They're not giving you shit. So now, we can sit here on YouTube, each and every one of us, and keep begging them for their money, or we could just take that shit. Take that. But I can't tell y'all Anarchy 99, but fuck it. The revolution won't be televised. They keep telling you that.
So do you think it's fake woke or not? Yes or no?
Hell yeah, it's fake woke.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else, Robbie?
Stop being on social media, wasting up Al Gore's internet, crying about this situation, trolling people, tapping into their economic resources so that they can send you super chats, cash apps, and donations, acting like all of that is going to help it get to the place of reparations, when reparations actually have already been passed in the United States of America. But y'all do your own research on that and put that money together and get some politicians, some PAC, political action committees, get your ass into politics, go down to your local office, your Capitol building, okay? Join a council, become an ombudsman, do anything, get into government, and then possibly we could change some laws. That's it, and that's all.
Damn.
Salute to Raw B. Privilege.
Bye, Raw. eBlack will extend this show for $72, guys. Let's go.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
Go.
All right, we gonna bring up one and when I say keep it brief, I don't mean short, but he's always gonna keep it short. So Mandrell.
Damn.
What's going on, fellas?
Another mulatto. Damn.
Wow. Are you African?
Nigga, please.
Wait, are you African, Fatty?
Yes, I am.
That explains everything.
I am the original version. You are the version from AliExpress.
No, I'm the upgrade. By far and away, superior in every way. I'm an American.
Damn.
So there's that.
Damn.
So what you got on the subject? Do you believe FBA ADOS is fake woke?
I don't think it's woke at all. There's nothing woke about it. Any of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you got Dr. Umar, shout out to him or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But Umar's wrong about a lot. Actually, Chaotic Truth tonight was far more correct about a lot of shit than Dr. Umar. Umar's fake. I believe that wholeheartedly. I think Umar would like to do good, but he can't for whatever reason. For whatever the reason is, he ain't got it. He just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I don't. The schools, dude. Come on.
No, not tomorrow. An example of one thing that he said today that was right. One example.
That was correct. Yeah, you should be. It's okay to date outside your race. That's one of them. Okay. The whole thing about Africans being a shithole.
But on principle, you can't see how dating outside your race is beneficial to other people in other cultures. You don't understand that?
How is it beneficial to other people? If you're talking about Americans, no, Americans are extremely selfish. You're benefiting yourself and your family. Your family, meaning you and your wife, got nothing to do with her family.
If how much of your money? I'll give you an example. Hold on. I'll give you an example. If I was to marry an Asian woman, and that Asian woman got pregnant and had another Tiger Woods, is that benefiting the black people or the Asian people?
So it doesn't matter if the kid turns out to be an asshole.
I'm just saying though.
But
the whole point of the fact of the matter is that a lot of people actually consider Tiger half black and half Asian. Right. They get both sides of the cookie.
How?
He says that he's blatant. He claims that
his thing. But he married a blonde, and one thing Chaotic was wrong about. I'm partial to brunettes, actually. I ain't a big fan of blondes. But nothing wrong with white chicks.
My God.
I'm just saying. Listen. Look, it's like this, fellas. I never adopted the narrative or fell for the whole thing where if you date outside the race, you can't be pro-black. That's ridiculous. It's still a part of your culture. You're black, okay? In America,
that's like saying that's like saying you like American cars but drive a Toyota, right?
Americans drive Toyotas.
But I'm just saying if I said I love me American muscle, I love muscle cars, a Chevy, Ford. And then you look outside and you see me with a Toyota Tundra.
You just so happen to go. You just so happen to not buy a muscle car. You can be into them. You're still into them. That doesn't change. You can still love your people, love your culture, and support them, and help uplift them, and invest in them. but be married to a woman outside the race. Why can't you do two things once? Y'all niggas act like y'all can't chew bubblegum and walk at the same time. This is your problem. Y'all take one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? Real slow steps at that. So slow that you never get anywhere. It's because of your lack of vision and acceptance and understanding.
Well, I have a vision.
See, hold on. Ideology like that is another thing that proves chaotic truth right. When he talks, when chaotic talks about black people, sometimes, not all the time, some of the stuff he says, I was just like, ooh, no, come on, slow down, chaotic. Slow down. Take it easy. But when I hear things like that and people who mean it, I'm like, yeah, chaotic's right. Y'all ain't got it. You know, I mean, and the thing is, and I said this about Willie Lynch letter before, regardless of whether Willie Lynch existed or not, if you read the Willie Lynch letter, you know that those things went into effect and they worked. It worked so well, in fact, that now there is no white man to blame. And yet we're still in the same spot, which means we do it to ourselves. And we've been doing it to ourselves for the past 40, 45 years. I'm 45. We've been doing it to ourselves since the early 70s. Right after we got Civil Rights and Voting Rights Act. We started doing it to ourselves after that.
Calvin Coolidge says you can't be pro-black and date outside your race. Facts.
I tell you what, stay inside your cave, man. With your primitive intellect and outlook on life. That's ridiculous. Here's eBlack. I don't agree with that, man. I mean, here's the thing. If you got a black guy, say you started an organization that helps black people, you started it, it's up and running, you know what I'm saying? You and your business partners, it's going over like gangbusters, right? And it's actually helping black people nationwide. Yet you got black people who come in and want to join in and help you out, but they're married to women of other races. Do you turn them away or do you accept their help?
Of course, we accept the help that we can get, but the ultimate goal is to create institutions that are 100% reliant on black thought, emphasis, and development. You cannot do that with partiality, because then all of a sudden it becomes, well, it comes like how they do with the churches, where they have a black church on Sunday from 10 to 2 and then a Mexican church from 4 to 6. You know,
their churches do that?
Yes.
I've never heard of that before. Like
yes. I've seen
wow.
Actually, I should have.
That's wow.
There's a church I know right now that it's a split church with Filipinos in Oakland. So the black church starts early, and then the Filipinos.
Gotcha. I'll say this, all right, about reparations. America does owe black people reparations. That's irrefutable.
Okay.
They owe it to us. And here's what put the nail in the coffin for that for me, because I debated that a long time. Like, do we need it? You know what I'm saying? Like the whole, really, you know, but at the same time, it is owed to us, period. Here's why America owes it to us, because you did it before to another race. You gave reparations to the Japanese and you called it reparations. Ronald Reagan gave Japanese reparations in the 80s. So see, now you've done it before. And that's when you kicked yourself in the ass. You had an argument until you did that. You had an argument to not do it until you did that. Now, once you did that, okay, now, bruh.
So you're like,
hold on. That's another thing that Chaotic was right about tonight as well. Everything he said, every syllable he said about reparations, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Yeah, and like I said, for me, that's the thing, though. I mean, that's what kills the argument, is that America has done it before.
So you would want basically 1860 reparations. You're not for pro Jim Crow reparations.
No, I'm not for Jim Crow reparations. You know what I mean? The slaves, the slave descendants of slave. Yeah, reparations. Now you're taking it too far. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Because just with the slaves, the descendants of slaves, America can't even afford to pay that. It's too much. Let's be real. I mean, that's what put America on the map. Yeah,
it's just a couple of $1 trillion, right?
More than a couple, you know. More than a couple, but is it owed to us? Absolutely. Do I ever think we're going to get it? I don't think we're going to get it, though.
Why don't they do it in benefits like they do, for example, with military people? they say you guys get a bunch of shit for free.
We don't get a bunch of shit for free.
And that was my and that was
the best thing we get for free, Fatty, is the free college education. That's the best thing.
There's $100,000 right over there.
Yeah, that is $100,000.
That was my thing. Like I said, that was my thing. I really believe that America should oppose its policies of or its practices of ensuring low education, health care, and feeding the poor. Those things I think are good enough reparational their values to where the black people who have made it to a better condition could continue on, and then we can uplift those black people who are still systematically affected through racism or slavery. So that's the way. I don't think you can go back through lineage wise. And then we'll be very surprised how much we'll get. I promise you we'll be, because the one thing they will do is they'll start finding some documents. They'll say, wait, this person came over. He wasn't technically a slave.
Yeah, my thing is, with that, even the people in like Puerto Rico, fuck Puerto Rico. You get nothing.
Oh shit!
You don't. Hold on. Puerto Rico get all the American benefits, but you don't pay our taxes. You start paying American taxes, then you can come to the negotiation table and talk to us.
Why not setting them free? Then, if you guys have no interest in Puerto Rico, why not say, hey guys, go about your way, you good?
Because Puerto Rico doesn't want that.
It'll collapse.
Yeah, Puerto Rico doesn't want that. And like I just said, they really would collapse, man. It's not the strongest place in the world in any way, but without American aid, dude, no.
But you still keep it just in case, right?
I guess, man. I mean, I don't know why we got it. I don't even know why we got it, Fatty. To be honest, what is it? What does it provide? You know what I mean?
Big booty Latinas.
Yeah, that too. They do.
I think. And we're gonna wind this out with our last guest.
Thanks for having me, Mandrell. Salute, man. Good show, fellas. I've been watching the whole thing. Y'all really good tonight. It was a good. I wish I was in on it from the beginning, but yeah, it was good. It was a good one tonight.
Yeah, we working on it. We as you know, I try to turn conversations and try to make content that's more suitable for audience since nobody listens to me, but
But yeah, that's my thing. Reparations, you definitely owe, and you should pay because you've done it before.
And are you an FBA or ADOS?
I'm an American citizen. Oh no, I'm not Mexican. I'm half black and half Native American.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which makes you a kind of no.
You're FBA then.
What is that?
That's foundational Black America.
No, motherfucker is going to earn a casino and reparations at the same day.
No, but I'm also an American descendant of slaves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You are a double minority. And you are gay. No, joke.
All right. Salute to Mandrell. Our last guest of the evening. I would like to give a personal shout out because he actually did support the show. My guy, Savage Red, is in the building.
Hello, gentlemen. Fatty, your facial expressions were great tonight. CT, you were trolling kind of hard, but eBlack, some of the information that you gave was not 100% true on some topics, but
okay.
The ADOS is fake woke. That situation's fake woke, and reparations isn't going to happen if you go through lineage, because you'd have to exclude a good amount of blacks that are in America that's descendants were slave owners if you go based on a purity test. Mm-hmm. And on the same fact, if you go by lineage, you're going to have white people that also have slavery ancestry of black people in their family that would get checks, which would also make the black folks mad. So like there's really no good way to make everybody happy with checks. There's no good tests.
So, and you're right. Savage, I forgot to mention, didn't Irish people come here as certain Irish groups came here as slaves?
Yeah, so you had slaves and indentured servants. Most of them came as indentured servants. One of my ancestors came over in 1700 as an indentured servant.
Okay, so you deserve reparations.
No.
Okay.
Would you be okay if there was a way to detect who actually deserves it to give them reparations?
If there was a way,
Just in
maybe.
principle, right? If you could actually figure out a way to give reparations to people that deserve it, would you be okay with it, or is it like, nah, let's move on?
The only way that I would accept it is if all of the other programs and things that we do for minorities were to end.
But
like, you ain't gonna get $5 million and get affirmative action. You're not gonna get $5 million and preferential treatment into schools.
But aren't they ending those programs anyway? Aren't they actually?
No, not necessarily. So let's expand this. What if America cashed out? America just said, you know what? Everybody gets, say, $1 million, but we're not going to do poverty programs. We're not going to do Black enrichment programs. We're not going to do Asian enrichment programs. We're not going to do any minority group program. But everybody got $1 million. Whatever y'all do with it, go for it. That actually is an interesting proposition, because they probably would save money in terms of interest. They'd probably get it back in terms of financial gain, you know.
Like,
yeah, but like, you don't want to destroy the fabric of society, because they are going to be the ones who have to clean up that mess. Like, if you are giving them more money, like, for example, what will be good actually if they were able to do it, instead of giving a lump sum, you had to be like a phased out way for you to just not blow it away on some bullshit and then go right back to the same unemployment line you were before. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but unfortunately, you're not going to be able to stop that.
You can contain it. It's like yes, no, but you can't. Like, let me give you an example, right? And private companies can do this, the government can do it too. Like when Reebok made sure that they saved $25 million from Allen Iverson because they knew we were going to blow up that shit, and now that money is worth $72 million, and he's going to get it when he gets 50, and now he can't phase it out and get it. I think it's like 10 million per year or something like that. They don't have to give the money right away, or they can, the same way they give, for example, food stamps, which is money in form of food. They can give you some of those money that is money, and they can give you in whatever, college education, healthcare. Like, you can fix your teeth because you had this amount of money. This is like a card where they can do, instead of being a card that you use to buy food or to buy whatever, that you can use on your day-to-day life, and you can get your better education, better healthcare, and all that. I think that will be very reasonable, and that will control what people do with that shit.
So you have too much hope for humanity, because you can't make people make good choices. People have the choice to make bad choices. And if that was the case, then people wouldn't sell food stamps for half now. So you can try to curve it, but you're like, if you're gonna do bad, you're gonna choose to do bad. You're not gonna be able to save everyone from bad decisions. Is my point.
Not even I'm trying. I'm just trying to get a better possibility and probability of people make it. It's like a safety net. You see what I'm saying? You know that there are people that are going to fall through safety nets, but you understand that by you enforcing certain metrics, people are going to at least have a place to fall and not break their fucking face for most part, right? I would understand that. Once again, the problem was the precedent. Like, even the slave owners got reparations. Like the colonizers, some countries got reparations. Like Japan got reparations. Jews got land, and still today they get money from the United States. Like, even Ukraine is getting money from the United States. It seems like there's money. There's money to go to wars. There's money to, like, there's trillions that disappear on that situation 20 years ago. Seems like there's money to print, and there's money to go to different things. I would, and this is for the Republicans, and I'm going to go more on chaotic show because I like the debate and they are more of a conservatives. I would actually put my mouth where, like, if I was Republican, I would love reparations to happen, because now there's no excuses. Now the game starts finally. Now you can complain about slavery because we already gave you your money. Go ahead and go about your life. Now people can compete, and now you can see who actually is complaining because they're complaining, or they're just they just didn't complain because they didn't have the chance before.
I think COVID was a good example of what would actually happen when we gave reparation. $10,000. What institutions, what do we actually see beneficial out of it? I think we see a lot more independent own business owners, but I also don't think America's really ready to give cash, no matter how much dollars, to the average citizen without training, backbone, security, cultural changes. So that's the main reason why I would hate to see a situation to where we put so much forth in trying to bring up America in a way that we change the way that slavery affected us to to then just cash out and then to see the same things happen over again in another cycle. I don't think we should do that.
But that's what happened before. They gave money to whatever situation was, and they say spend it whatever you want. That's what is happening in Israel. Like for example, they give you the money. They say, "Hey man, go ahead, do what you want to do." And if they feel like it, build 1,000 weapons, 1,000 like defense system, 1,000 missiles, 1,000 train, 1,000 troops. That's what they do with the money. We never concern ourselves with what is Ukraine doing with the money that goes there. What is they going to doing with the money? But as soon as it could become,
that's not true.
No, of course it's true.
No.
Of course it's true. You know why? Because the defense, the Defense Department of the United States is the worst accounting mistake in history when it comes to mismanaging of funds. They never know where the money goes. Money goes missing all the time. They disappeared $1 trillion in the 9/11 day, right? They are a disaster when it comes to managing money, and then they turn around to black people and say, "You guys wouldn't know how to manage money, motherfuckers! You lost $1 trillion." And then now you're looking at them and say they can't manage money. It's just a self-fulfilling prophecy where the I was going to say the word, like one person that is suspect is calling another person queer.
Yeah, but but the problem, the what makes your position disingenuous though is the fact that there's a lot of people that aren't in the government that don't want the government spending that money, and the government spends money that we don't want them to spend in ways that they don't want to spend. And since I was asked about if I was for reparations or not, I'm not part of the government, so I don't have a say on the things that money's spent on. But I do know that if they said, let's give out $10 trillion into the United States, I know for a fact that the dollars that I make are now worth less, and my family didn't own any slaves. My family had nothing to do with slavery. So the government printing money isn't the same as you asking me, because I can't just print magic money even though my face is white and my family's mostly white.
No, that's fair, but I'm not blaming you. I'm saying they're already printing money. And your dollar is getting worse and worse. Every time I get my YouTube check in euros, the amount of dollars that I see there compared with the euros I get, I'm like, God damn it, they take $1,000. What the hell is this?
And you know what? Savage brings up a good point too. What if only the people who were here in 1860 actually had to pay reparation? Well, so what if you took the money out of people who were actually here in the country? Because we, like you said, Polish people came later. There was a lot of people who came later. Those people, then their pot of money gets excluded, and then we pay them with the rest of the people who actually did stay here.
There's no precedent. They never did that before. That's the point. Is the precedent. The Kevin was telling the precedent that a third of the population is paying this 100% of reparations. Every time the United States has to do something, it was the bulk of the population paying for something. So it will be strange. Like, you are opening the precedent of saying Savage doesn't want a new war. So if I don't want a new war, my taxes don't go for there. I don't want that new hospital there. So I don't want, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you're opening a precedent for people to pick and choosing where the taxis need to go.
But what you have to realize, the problem with slavery and reparations is you have slavery that was inherited by the colonies prior to the country being founded. So there were slaves here in the country that weren't brought here by those people. You also have the fact that blacks owned slaves here in America and Indians owned slaves. Like, it's not this situation isn't clear cut. There is more nuance to the situation.
Yeah, and actually he's right. Indians, as many times as people love claiming to be Indian people did somewhat claim slaves. They actually also sometimes returned slaves to captivity. So there's those types of situations there. I'm not gonna say that's the greatest overall example of slavery, but there are instances of.
I'm just saying there's more context. That's what I'm saying. It's not clear cut. It's not a simple question or simple answer. There's more to it than just yes or no. That's all.
Anybody knows how much would cost reparation? Like there's a magical number or a estimate about like would be the magical number when it comes to reparation?
No one would ever be happy with the number.
Yeah, and hold on 1 second. Hold on, I just seen something in my chat. I know a lot of new people are here on the eBlack TV channel. Once again, I don't do the trolling. I don't do the name calling. We have good, healthy debates and discussion over here. You will be timed out. You will be, and if we have to continuously time you out, you will be blocked. I have no problem with that. I do not contribute to the mental health of other people, the panelists, or my chat. We have good conversations over here, and we will continuously have that. If you want to go toxic places, go there. This place has always and has never been a place of actually name calling. It's always about the point. I will time you out and block you out myself. So let me make sure we got that stated, because I don't want people thinking I'm acting brand new. So, but thank you, Savage Red. I appreciate you. I want to get my last person up. I don't, but I'm gonna let him up anyway. But anything else you got? Anything you got?
Yeah, it just also with blacks and whites being in the country for so long, you have a lot of integration. So like I said before, you're going to have white people that have black mixed children that are going to get reparations. So like it's not clear cut. It'd take a lot of work to try to iron this out to make people even be happy with the amount they get or who gets it or who doesn't get it. Like, it would be a lot, and I don't think you'd actually make people happy. I don't think it would necessarily solve the problem.
I see that. I do think we could make it happen. We have the IRS that goes through millions and millions of accounting data. I can't see why we can't have some organization built like the IRS. So,
because if you're gonna do a test, like if you look at the Hodge twins, they're like 51% black. So if they got reparations, someone else would be mad that they got reparations. Or if you cut off at 60%, like wherever you put that hard line, someone's not going to get it. So
couldn't we give them 51% of reparations since they are 51% black?
Well, but their ancestors endured slavery the same amount as everyone else.
51% of their ancestors. That's the point. You give 51% the discount, and you're good to go. At the 49, they're privileged. Just be happy with you get.
I don't want to. I don't like that.
You don't like that? Like, you would get 100%, man. Don't worry. They'll look at you and say, "Bro, you don't even need the DNA. Just sing with us." Yes, sir. You get your check.
Look, I ain't worried about my check. I'm just saying I don't think it'd be right for everybody else. My check, I'm gonna get 98%. Okay, y'all gonna have to split y'all shit.
Damn, you just have to wipe your neck because that shit is brown and not black. Sorry.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
Salute to everybody. All right, our last guest. And once again, we have Fatty from Portugal, and we also are going to bring on somebody from a foreign land.
All hail the queen.
Simon, you owe us reparations. Your country owes reparations. When are you going to pay?
Well, at the moment, the king,
He's in the hospital, and
Because he's old as fuck.
no, he's in hospital.
Yeah,
And
but he's old
so
as
is
fuck, like 70.
yeah. So William's gonna have to take the throne. And we're gonna have to see how he deals with it. Nobody cares. Okay, look, I'm sorry.
Are you sad? Or were you crying before you came here for the king?
Yeah. I like Charles. Charles, look, contributed to my life, so may not mean nothing to you, but that's fine.
It's Charles or Diana because
all
he
right,
married.
all right. Forget Charles. Forget Charles. FBA, Simon. Do you believe? Because even in Europe, you guys have a system, kind of like what they consider. You guys are forming kind of like the African migrants thing.
What does that
There's
mean?
no African what African
Like what I've
migrant?
heard,
like what Fatty was saying about how people have stolen from a house, and then these people are now coming back to that house to take from that house.
That's
in Portugal. That's not in
immigrants?
London.
Yeah,
that's not in London.
No,
That's in
what are
Portugal.
you talking about? All the ex-colonies, the people that were once invaded, now are going back to like they become brother countries. It's like Brazilians are in Portugal and Portuguese are in Brazil. They speak same language.
yeah.
So there's the
Nah,
same way. For
nah.
example, the United Kingdom has a connection to the
We
Commonwealth.
don't experience any of that stuff. We don't have a
You
problem with that.
London is one of the most multicultural cities in the fucking planet. You can see 2 black people in Spain, for example. What are you talking about? Sam?
No, I live here, nigga. Like, what are you talking
In
about?
London?
Nah. That we
So
don't.
you
We
don't
don't
see
have
black
to.
people. So you don't see black people in London.
Yeah, they're pocketed. So it's like what happens is like people in cultural situations, like they go into like certain areas and they live there. That's what happens. And they buy their food and they eat their food and they do that stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not complicated. FBA. FBA, what do you think about that? Do you think do you believe FBA or ADOS is fake woke? Do you think it's fake woke? Simon?
Who's
Is this thing
FBA?
on?
Are you talking to me? I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm talking to you.
All right. Sorry. What's your question, nigga?
You don't want to make an enemy out of me.
All right, everybody. Salute to everybody. This was a great show. I really appreciate everybody coming up. Fatty, I really appreciate you bringing. See, look, my channel different. Look, we're not playing.
I appreciate you, Black. Let me ask you just one question before I leave you, Black.
If it's smart, I got my finger on the button. It's
no,
on.
it's quick. I'm not even joking. Like, right? Because like how much do you think Chaotic Truth believe in what he says? Like, give me a percentage, a ballpark.
Believe?
Yes, really. Yeah, when he says things like, give me a ballpark of what you really believe?
I think 85. I think 85 to 90%. I think he expresses it different. I think some of the shit he don't, but then I think 85% for him to articulate it so well, he has to have some belief system in it.
No, I think he practices in front of the mirror, actually. Hey, Fred, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, Black. I'll be soon. Chaotic, I'm going to start to do weekly visits to your show because I want to fight. That's what I want to do. So, sir,
be careful in there. They got some real people that will.
I will bring my Bernie Sanders banner and I will fuck shit up. So thank you very much for having me. Appreciate you. eBlack, the Black, and Mr. Chaotic Truth. Salute. I'll see you guys later. Appreciate it.
All right, chaotic. All right, so let's wrap this up, man. So hopefully everybody learned anything. Any last words, chaotic?
Vote for Donald Trump. That's it for me. Vote for Donald Trump.
Salute to everybody that's out here. Once again, if you haven't already, hit the like button. Please subscribe. We'll be back next week with another topic. Also, I love the comments that we're getting. Please leave a comment. Continue the conversation. This was Beware of Fake Woke. eBlack, and Chaotic Truth in here. We out.